Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Be Energized. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Definitely hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all the new subscribers. If you're not new, thank you guys for the support and returning to Be Energized. For today's video, I kind of wanted to do a comparison video between the Tesla Model Y and the Nissan Ariya, which is an all-electric crossover that's going to be unveiled next week on July 15th. Now, there's not a lot of information regarding the Ariya, but I thought it could be a fun video to do a comparison between the two cars and keep everything relatively unbiased during this video, and then do another video where it's my take on the Ariya versus the Model Y. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But let's get started on the comparison of the Model Y and the Nissan Ariya. So, if you are new to electric vehicles, you may be wondering, what is the Tesla Model Y and what is the Nissan Ariya? Well, let's do some introductions really quickly. The Tesla Model Y is Tesla's all-electric crossover that is based on the Model 3 sedan. Obviously, since it's a crossover, it sits up higher, it's wider, and it offers some features that the Model 3 does not offer, like a hatchback rear tailgate. So it's really nice, it sits up higher, it allows for more cargo space and so forth. But you do get all the same electric performance that you'd find in other Tesla vehicles, which is really cool in the Model Y. Now, the Nissan Ariya right now is a concept vehicle. It is not a car that has gone into production yet. However, next week on July 15th, like I mentioned earlier, they will be unveiling the production version of the Nissan Ariya, and it's estimated to start around $40,000, get about 300 miles on a full charge, all-wheel drive, and like I said, it's a crossover, which is good for America because we're very, very thirsty for crossovers here for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but it's pretty exciting to see what Nissan is coming out with the Ariya. But they will be in similar categories, the Y and the Ariya, including price. Right now, the Model Y is going to be more expensive than the Ariya, but once the standard range Model Y comes out, they're expecting the price to drop around $40,000 to what the Ariya is starting at. So it will be, we'll have to wait to see what actually happens with the Ariya and the Model Y standard range. But for right now, this is just a comparison based on size, features, and things that we know of the Ariya. So let's get started in terms of size and comparisons. Okay, let's start with the Model Y. And the reason why I'm starting with this is because this vehicle is currently in production and we know what the specs and dimensions are of the Model Y versus the Ariya. I'm assuming next week, once they unveil the production version, we'll probably find out more. But for now, let's just start with the Model Y. So the Model Y is about 187 inches long. It's about, with the mirrors, it's 83 inches wide. When the mirrors are folded, it's 77.9 inches. Overall height is about 63.9 inches. The wheelbase itself is 113.8 inches, and the ground clearance is 6.6 inches. In terms of headroom, front you're looking at about 41 inches, which is really, really impressive. Rear is about 39.4 inches. Front legroom, 41.8. Rear legroom, 40.5. Shoulder, about 56.4 inches. Rear is 54 inches, which is interesting. It seems like the car kind of narrows near the back. And then hip room up front is 53.8 inches and rear is 50.6 inches. So with that being said, the Model Y is a kind of a standard size crossover in terms of like a medium size crossover. Cars that this would compare with, if you're looking in terms of shape or in size, you're probably looking at something like a Toyota RAV4, maybe a Hyundai Santa Fe. In terms of size, obviously the styles between the vehicles are going to be drastically different because the Model Y it was designed with aerodynamics in mind, so it's going to be more slopish than some of those boxy crossovers and SUVs. But in terms of like dimensions, it's like length and width and height, it's going to be very similar. Okay, let's talk about the Nissan Ariya. The Nissan Ariya, if you're looking at the photos, which I'm going to present in this video, if you're looking at these photos, you're probably looking at something that is going to be roughly the same size as like a Nissan Rogue, which is their medium-sized crossover. So with that being said, obviously with it being an electric vehicle, it's going to be designed with aerodynamics in mind. So it's probably going to have more of a slopish roof line. You're going to have more of the aerodynamic body lines, which could intrude in some of the interior dimensions. But overall, you're going to have some good ground clearance because it's a crossover, some good head and leg room, hip room, shoulder room, and stuff like that in the interior. But like I mentioned earlier, hopefully once the Ariya gets into production and unveiled, we'll learn more specs about the exterior. But the two, with the Model Y and the Ariya, should be relatively similar in size, just based on what I can see from the concept and seeing the Model Y in person. Definitely looks like they're very similar vehicles, but we'll have to wait until July 15th. Okay, obviously the most important part of an electric vehicle, actually all vehicles, is how far the vehicle can drive. Now the Model Y is obviously in production right now, so we know exactly how far these vehicles can drive. The Model Y long range has a EPA rated range of 316 miles, which is incredibly impressive. And obviously you're going to have the supercharger network that's going to allow you to partake in long distance road trips, which is just very, very convenient. So the Model Y definitely has that going for it. Performance, it's going to come standard with dual motor all-wheel drive. 0 to 60 time is just slightly above 4 seconds, which is impressive for such a crossover of its dimensions. And you're going to get features like the instant torque from the electric motors and so forth. But the most impressive thing about the Model Y is just how far it can go. 316 miles is incredibly impressive, and I know as Tesla improves their battery technology, it's just going to get better and the cars are going to drive further. For example, the Model S they just announced can get over 400 miles on a full charge. So the Model Y is bound to be able to do that eventually. But right now we're looking at about 316 miles for the long range dual motor all-wheel drive Model Y. Now the Ariya is a bit of a different story. Obviously, I'm not going to say it because you guys know it's not in production yet. They are estimating 300 miles on a full charge. And I genuinely hope that they will be able to reach it because I feel like with the electric vehicles getting to that point, more people are going to be interested in it once they realize they can drive further on a full charge. So it's bound to be said if Nissan can get 300 miles plus on a full charge in the Ariya, but I'm really hoping they can because I think that would be very cool. On to price and some of the other features of the Model Y and the Ariya. Okay, let's talk about pricing. I'm going to start with the Model Y just because this vehicle is currently out and you're able to purchase it. Right now, if you're looking to purchase a Model Y, you're looking at about $52,000 plus. And now that is for the, right now, quote unquote, base model long range Model Y. Obviously, there is different trim levels for the Model Y. You have a performance model, which is more expensive, and then eventually there's going to be a standard range Model Y that's going to cost less than the long range Model Y. So just keep that in mind. Right now, you're looking at about $52,000 plus for the Model Y. Now, Tesla does not qualify for the federal tax credit anymore. Keep that in mind. They delivered more than 200,000 vehicles and then that tax credit phased out, so they do not qualify for that anymore. So right now, you're looking at MSRP for the Model Y. Now for the Ariya, I'm not gonna say it. The vehicle right now is estimated to start at about $40,000. Nissan right now actually does qualify for that federal tax credit. Actually, the full federal tax credit of $7,500. So depending on how Nissan prices the different trims of the Ariya, you could be looking at a sub $40,000 all-electric crossover based on what you're looking for in your next vehicle. So it just kind of all depends on what they're able to price the Ariya at. I'm assuming they're going to have different trims, which means the vehicle could be significantly more expensive than what they're estimating, which could have it fall within Tesla Model Y long range price range. Well, say that 5 times fast. Obviously, you have the performance Model Y, so it's bound to be seen if Nissan does come out with a performance Ariya, but we'll have to see. Technology is going to be the last part that I touch base on regarding the Model Y and the Ariya. Obviously, Tesla is very famous for their autopilot and some of their semi-autonomous driving features. And the Model Y is no different. It still has all the sensors, the cameras, and everything within the autopilot suite to allow you to experience a safer driving. So the Model Y comes standard with all of that hardware. However, you have to purchase the software in order to get features like that. Obviously, you're still going to get like the blind spot warning, the emergency stopping, the rear cross traffic alert. All those safety features come standard on the Model Y. Now, Nissan has their own semi-autonomous driving called the ProPilot system, and the Ariya is said to have a system just like that. They're actually calling it ProPilot 2.0, and this is going to allow more of a semi-autonomous driving experience for the driver. But right now, they have not exactly said what that offers. It's kind of like a mixture of lane keep assist, blind spot warning, cross traffic alert, and just like a lot of ways to keep the vehicle within the lane and braking based on the vehicle or object ahead of you. And now the Ariya should have something like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the comparison is between the autopilot system and the ProPilot system with the Y and the Ariya, but we'll have to wait to see what they come out with next week. I know Nissan's pretty cool with their technology. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Definitely keep an eye out for the next video, which is going to be my take, my personal take, which is going to be very biased of the Model Y and the Ariya. Just wanted to let you know. I'm going to put the link somewhere in this video for you guys to click on. But thank you guys for watching this video. Like I mentioned, if you're new to my channel, definitely consider subscribing. I definitely appreciate all the subscribers. And if you aren't new to my channel, thank you guys for returning and supporting Be Energized. I really appreciate it. Definitely like this video, share with your friends. Let's get a discussion. And if you're ready for the Ariya to be unveiled next Wednesday, I think that's next Wednesday, leave a comment below. Let's start a conversation. But anyways, thank you guys. Make sure you make every single day electrifying. Take care.